Hi, Scorpio. This is your reading for the time period of November 1st to November 18th, 2019. For those of you who are new to my channel or you're just visiting, welcome to Amani's Lightwork YouTube channel. Okay, so um, what I want to say before I begin is that I do have a section on my channel called Keys to Akasha, and there I do cover news stories and celebrity passings, missing persons reports, etc. If you do have an inquiry about that section of my channel, please feel free to email me at ifadivination777@gmail.com or send me a direct message to my IG at ArmaniIfe777. All right, so let's see what energies. It is your season, so let's see what energies are coming through for you for the first half of November, Scorpio. Hmm. Can't stand an Aries element, which I that was already coming through really interesting. And a Gemini. Can't stand an Aries and a Gemini, but let's see what's going on into the reason to why you can't stand them. Hmm. What does the Aries have? So when I said that, what does the Aries have? So how that could go so many different ways. So what does the Aries have could be I get something about like a diagnosis or something's going on, but I get throat. So when I said diagnosis, something so I don't know if this is like I don't know if there's something going on with you or Aries. So it's either you or this is happening to an Aries element with a some type of diagnosis, like a thyroid situation and things of that nature. But I didn't check thyroid and things of that nature. You didn't check, so that could be something that's on. That could be something that's going on with you that you need to check. Or the Aries element has an ailment. The Aries element may have some type of ailment. However you want to look at ailment, something interesting, health, something interesting could be going on either with yours or theirs. So let's see. So if it's not that, if it's not anything like that, then it's just. I was also getting that you some. I was also getting that something about that element you can't stand, but keeps complaining. So when I said that they keep complaining, and I was also getting a Gemini energy side with them. A Gemini energy sides with an Aries element. So whatever it is that an Aries element is complaining about, a Gemini energy agrees into the reason to why the Aries is complaining. It just depends on what's going on, and it could have something to do with it could have something to do with a diagnosis that they have or some type of issue or it has something to do with or they have the having that they have could be literally they have something that belongs to you, and the Gemini energy was aware has been aware of that for a while, but the spirit is saying that you may need to talk to a Gemini, but they may not reveal everything, they may not be revealing everything to you that you need to hear. So let's see what's going on. So it could be about health, it could be health with you, either you are an Aries or something's going on with that element having your things or something that they have, or it's a diagnosis from a Sag, something that they have is from a Sag, and it could be it feels it's giving me like a health feeling, like it could be money, it could be your money, it could be your information, that's why I said what do they have. It could be your information, it could be your money, but I keep feeling this feeling of diagnosis, like they have some type of interesting diagnosis because they have an interesting diagnosis because of a Sag. So it could be sexually, it could be STDs and things of that nature that element has, but Gemini knows. So when I said that, a Gemini energy knows that, and the Gemini energy needs to share that. A Gemini needs to share that with you. It just depends on what's going on there. Okay. All right, Scorpio. So this is funny because this card was already there underneath, and I shoveled and it's right back where it was. The Eight of Cups energy is underneath. But I get house. The Eight of Cups energy is here because of your home or someone in it by an Aquarian energy. So when I said your home or someone in it, it has something to do with an Aquarian energy, but they stole. So when I said that they are stealing something from you or they stole something from someone else, the Aries helps them. So when I said that, an Aries element helps them take something from you, or if it's not anything to do with you, you could just be on the outside looking. They took something from an Aries. You could just be on the outside looking into that to that element. Took something from an Aries element. That's why the Eight of Cups. But I don't want to be in the middle of this. The Eight of Cups energy is there. It's Cups energy is your energy, and that of external water sign energy is there by an external Scorpio. So an external Scorpio may be aware. An external Scorpio could be aware of the kind of interactions that an Aquarian energy is with their things, that an Aquarian energy is having with it, that the Aquarian energy had with an Aries elements thing or things, or it's yours. And a Gemini energy knows Aquarian. The Gemini energy knows an Aquarian, and they have that kind of information, and that's why it could literally be information. But I also get stuff, so it literally could be information, but it's also things that an Aquarian has. It's also things that an Aries element has, or the Aquarian energy took an Aries stuff, or the Aquarian energy took in something that belongs to an Aries element. So it could be money, it could be information, but I get a handbag. So when I said money and information, it's someone's going on with their handbag. Like someone's going on with an Aries element, but she was robbed. So when I said an Aries element's handbag, she was robbed. And the Aquarian energy, the Aquarian and a helper, the Aquarian energy and a helper could have robbed the Aries element. So that could be. I don't know if that's something. I don't know if that's something that already happened, but she shouldn't leave it somewhere. So when I said something that didn't even happen, that she shouldn't leave it somewhere. She shouldn't leave it somewhere. So the Aries, it could be an Aries female that shouldn't leave the stuff laying around. The Aries female shouldn't leave their stuff laying around, and somebody could have taken their bag. And the Gemini energy knows who did it. The Gemini knows if it's an Aquarian. The Gemini energy knows the Aquarian that did that to an Aries element. But it's for you. So when I said that, it's for you. So the Aquarian energy could have went in the Aquarian. And how do they know them like that? Also, the Aquarian energy could have went into the Aries element's bag and took a ID. The Aquarian energy could have went into the Aries element bag and took their ID with male or female Aquarian. I mean, male or female Aquarian, or male or female Aries element, but they're deceptive. So a male or female Aries element are deceptive. But the Aquarian energy went into their bag, or they went into their I was getting bags and handbags, and they took and someone's going on and made copies. They could have taken their bags, no, yes, their bag, but their IDs and like their like copies, and make copies up to sell. They could have went in there and made copies of their IDs to sell. And a Gemini energy knows that that's happening. A Gemini knows that's happening. So I don't know if that's something that's happening to you with the Aries element, and that could be something that's happening to you with the Aries element, or more so them. So when I said that, it's more so them that is happening to, but it's only because they betrayed you. So the only reason why that's happening to them is because they betrayed you, and that could be why the Aquarian energy is trying to help you in that way. So it just depends on what's going on. In a home environment, it could be household, it could be housemate situation. But ask Taurus to do something. Household situations, the Aries element could have asked the Taurus to do something, or the Aquarian did, and it could have something to do with handbags and bags and IDs, and make for Aries bags and IDs, and making copies of IDs for an Aries element, or it is their stuff. It is their IDs and information that the Aquarian energy could be making for themselves. They're making those. This could be a situation here where the Aquarian, like the Aries element, could have refused the Aquarian, energy, like their own things, so that they could benefit themselves. So they could have turned down the Aries could have turned down that offer by the Aquarian. So because of that turn down, the Aquarian energy could have went into the Aries element stuff, and went in there and took the copies and IDs and things that she said no to. Took the copies and IDs and things that the Aries element already told the Aquarian, no, I don't want you to use my things. But they went in and did it anyway, and they could be making money off of that. By it, it's like a what do you call it? Like across the board, like in different states or another country. But people purchase in different states and other countries. People purchase. So it has something to do people it has something to do with duplicates. It has something to do with duplicates of IDs. Like it could be Aries. I don't know if it's yours or it's the Aquarian energy that did that to an Aries element, or something's going on with the Aries element need. All right. The starting point has the Page of Swords element here. Okay, but research. So the Page of Swords energy and what happened. The Page of Swords energy is research on what happened, but where's the Aquarian? So the Page of Swords, you could be looking for the Aquarian. You could be looking online, trying to contact, but they're not talking. Looking online, trying to contact, they're not talking. Like for whatever reason, they're not because of what you know. They're not talking to you because of what you know, or but saw them do something. So you saw them do something, or you're just I get cognition. You saw them do something, or you're just cognizantly aware what they did to Aries. You're just cognizantly aware of something that they did or plan with Taurus. Something that they did or something that they plan with a Taurus to do on the Aries element or you. But it's to protect you. The Page of Swords energy, it's to protect you. That's why the Aquarian energy going against the Aries element's wishes. That could be why the Aquarian is going against the Aries element's wishes. Going against their wishes is them telling going against the Aries element's wishes is the Aries telling the Aquarian no, you can't. No, I get driver's license. No, you can't use my driver's license. No, you can't make copies of my driver's license. No, you can't make copies of my DA. No, you can't make copies of this, that, and the third. But the Page of Swords is that they may do that. I ain't someone a credit score and things of that nature. The Page of Swords is that they may do that with your things, and something's going on with like credit karma or needing to check credit scores and see what's being used, needing to check credit scores and things of that nature to see how your credit is and to see how it's being used. Aries jacked up. So when I said that, an Aries element jacked it up. Like they could have jacked up. That could be why they need duplicates. That could be why they need duplicates of copies of information and things. That could be where the Aquarian energy helps them or not helps them. It just depends on what's going on, because something could be jacked up about their own credit, and that could be why weeding off of yours. So that could be why they feel the need of weeding off of yours. And the Aquarian energy and the Aquarian energy and the Sag may help them with those kind of things. But should I call the police? Page of Swords, you could be trying to look to see what police precinct is close to you that you could call on those elements there. But something's going on with a surveillance camera or surveillance tapes and things of that nature, that somebody at a gas station, that somebody could have gathered at a gas station, but they were near that one. So when I said they were near that one, like a Shell gas station, what's the name of a gas station? I don't know. I forgot the other names. Like just an example, they were near doing a transaction. They were near what do you call that? Cashier, whatever. They were near a drug. I almost said drug station. They were near a gas. Something could be going on with drugs. They were near somebody's doing something interesting because they could be on drugs there. They were near a gas. They were near a gas station doing those kind of transactions. And Aquarius doing those kind of transactions with an Aquarian with your things, or the Aquarian energy caught on camera. The Aquarian energy was caught on camera with those duplicates and those IDs that belong to Aries or you. That just depends. But I gave. So when I said Aries element or you gave. Like you may have given the Aquarian energy those things, willingly or not willingly, or they just went in your room and got it. They may have just went in your room and got it themselves. So either an Aries element asked them to do that, or they just went and did it on their own without asking. But they're being caught on cameras and police being caught on cameras. Police are after them, but they've been after them for a while. So the Page of Swords, they've been after. I call. They've been after them for a while. You called. Or they themselves could have called the police, been after them for a while. They themselves could have called the police on the Aries and the Sag element, or just the Aries. The police have been on those elements because of the Aquarian. The police or investigators have been on those elements for a while, or on the Aquarian energy for a while. That's why they disappear. So Page of Swords, that's why the Aquarian disappears. Page of Swords is why Aries, they could do that together or by themselves. Page of Swords, the Aries and the Sag disappeared. They have your information in duplicates and copies and transactions by drug stores and Shell gas stations. Just an example that the Aquarian energy does for you, for them. Page of Swords energy in the starting point. So If it's not anything like that, the page of swords energy is just research that Aquarius. It's just research that you need to do on an Aquarian, but their background. So the page of swords, you're doing research on their background. That could be something Sag already did. That could be something that a Sagittarian energy already did. Is that something that an Aries element already did? They didn't. That being something that an Aries element did, they didn't. Or that's something that a Sagittarian used to be in jail. That's something that a Sagittarian energy is starting to realize that element used to be in jail, but only one of them. So only one Aquarian energy used to be in jail. So if it's not only an Aquarian energy, could also be Libras and Gemini. They help each other. Libras and Geminis, those air sign elements, they help each other. But yet to each other's things. So the air sign elements help each other to each other's things. And Sag and the Aries, they were extracted from that. The Sag and the Aries may be extracted from the air sign elements, helping each other in that way. Or the Sag and the Aries could be finding out how all the air signs, or just the Gemini and the Libra, how they side with you. They're finding out how those elements side with you, but not the Aquarian. So siding with you, not the Aquarian. Not the Aquarian energy may not side with you, or it could be an Aries element that they side with, but they pay them. So they side with the Aries because the Aries pays them. It could be good money, thousands. The Aries element may pay them thousands to do those kind of moves in a business deal here with you, or with your things, or with their stuff. It could be help. It could be help that they need with their own things. That's why the Page of Swords energy is there. But don't trust them to that level. The Aries element may not trust the Aquarian energy to that level, but they still pay them a good sum of money. But that's what Sag said. Paying them a good sum of money. That's what a Sag said. All right. Your wedding position has the Six of Swords. Okay, the Six of Swords, very certain. So this get caught. You're really somebody may is air sign element. So one of those elements may get with information. One of those elements may get caught with information. But Aries is trying to safeguard. So the Six of Swords, the Aries may be trying to safeguard and Gemini. The Aries could be trying to safeguard Aries could be trying to safeguard an Aquarian energy and a Gemini. But what do they do? Page of Swords energy. The Page of Swords news article. The Page of Swords could also be a news article. Could also be you going online to like CNN or ABC 7 or New York One, wherever you live in the country, whatever news channel you're clicking on to, their situation is showing up on the news there. But potentially, so Page of Swords, Six of Swords, their situation is shown up on the news. It's potentially, but they need to move. Their situation is shown up, but they were being tracked and watched, and investigators like that. That's something that June. The Six of Swords could be like six, like the what do you call it? It could be the month of June that Aquarian was being tracked. It could be the month of June, like this year, June, that the Aquarian energy was being tracked. Are the external air sign elements being all the time? The external air sign elements may be getting tracked all the time, watched all the time, investigated all the time. The business deal. It has to do with the business deal that these elements are running with you, or with your stuff, because of Aries. Your stuff, if it's your stuff, it's because of an Aries element. It's because of an Aries, but shown up on the news. So Page of Swords, Six of Swords, something that is happening there is potentially showing up on the news, or is going to show up on the news. But on the 6th, or around in that week of the 6th of November, that could be when something is shown up on the news. Prevent. So when I said that you yourself, you may have that knowledge. You may have that knowledge, Aries stealing. You have that knowledge of Aries stealing. So either they, I don't know if they could be taking something from you, or another coworker, or another business partner, and something that you observe a Gemini doesn't like. What you observe there, a Gemini energy doesn't like. So it's all these swords. A Gemini energy called police on Aquarian. A Gemini energy could have called the police on an Aquarian, or an Aries element, or a Sag. It just depends on what's going on there. Why didn't they tell me that they did that? The Six of Swords or the Page of Swords, why didn't a Gemini energy tell me that they did that? The Gemini, the heavy energy with the Gemini energy not telling you that they did that, something is a shock to you. So the Gemini not telling you that they did that, something is a shock to you. But thank you. So when I said that, there's a thank you. But observe something was happening to you for a while. So Page of Swords, Six of Swords, they observed that something was happening to you for a while with Aries, with Sag, with Aquarians. They've been stealing. Those elements have been stealing. One of those elements is a jailbird. One of those elements is a jailbird. Like one of those elements was in jail before. Like one of them was in jail before, or they had run-ins. They had run-ins with authorities multiple times. They have had run-ins with authorities multiple times in the past. Or it could be something that could be something that resides with the air sign element. That could be something that resides with the Aquarian. That could be a situation they're stealing since June. They may have been stealing since June, or somebody may have been tracking them since June. I had a cop. A cop may have been tracking them down since June. But it's a Gemini entity's fault that a cop is tracking down an Aquarian energy since June. It just depends on what's going on, or that investigator, or whatever, or that kind of situation could be what's happened. That's why they're far away. That kind of investigation could be happening with an Aries and a Sag, and that could have been happening because of a Gemini. That could have been happening because of a Gemini. That could have been happening to the Aries and the Sag since June, and that could be why they're far away. But they didn't know something was happening. So since Swords, they didn't know something was happening, and in the summer. So something they may have and that they may have ended up becoming really aware. They may have ended up becoming really aware of something that someone is doing to them in June, like in the summer. I was getting the summer. They became aware. They became aware in the summer, or the Aquarian energy stalk. The Aquarian energy either they do stalk, or they have been get by Gemini. They have been getting stalked by a Gemini, or they've been getting stalked period since June. They've been getting stalked period since June. But they may stalk for Aries. They may stalk for Aries, but someone is stalking them, and it could be a Gemini, or you yourself could be stalking them. It just depends on what's going on. Wow. The present has the Ten of Pentacles energy is in the present, but they're making a lot of money. So the Ten of Pentacles, the air signs, the Aquarians, because they're working with Aries, that element is making a lot of money. That's why I said they're being to stock. They're being paid good money to stock and watch and send out copies. They're being paid to stock and watch and send out copies of your things, or whatever stuff. You could be like I said, you could be in the outside looking at this. Could be happening to an external Scorpio. It just depends on what's going on there. But I don't really know. This happening to an external Scorpio, you don't really know the external Scorpio that well. It just depends on what's going on. But someone's going to get caught. So the Ten of Pentacles is these elements here are going to get caught, and the copies and the tracking that they do, the copies and the tracking that they do, but they're doing that, but somebody is tailing, or somebody literally could be getting tailed, like what do you call that? When somebody's driving and like the police tell them to slow down, and it's the pull over, like Aries. What is happening there is happening with the Aries element, or the Sag element there. But it's because of a Gemini heads up. It's because of a Gemini energies heads up that they're trying to give you an external Scorpio. That's why but how much money are they making? So now that you know that, how much money are they? But Aquarian stopped doing something. When I said how much money how much money they've been making, the Aquarian energy stopped doing something. STOPPED. They stopped in the past tense. They stopped doing something. They stopped. So Aries told. So when I said that, the Aries element told them to stop. The Aries told them to stop doing something, but they made enough. They may have made enough. Those elements, they could have had a set limit into how much money they could have had. They could have had a set limit into how much money they wanted to make by June. They could have had a set limit into how much money they wanted to make by June. That could be when something stopped, or somewhere in the summer a business slowed down. Somewhere in the summer a business slowed down. Somewhere in the summer a business slowed down. But Aries, it's because of the Aries that it slowed down, or it's because the Aries asked the stop. It's because the Aries asked the Aquarian energy to stop what they're doing. So it could be a good or bad reason. It could be a good or bad reason into why something is happening the way it is. But I feel like I keep feeling this feeling of cops and being tailed by cops and things of that nature with the fire signs or the Aquarian, but they don't drive. That element doesn't drive, and they may not drive for that exact region. They may not drive for that exact reason. And something may be making them really paranoid all the time. The Aries may be making them feel really paranoid. They may stick in a safe spot all the time. They ask them to. They may stick in a safe spot where they feel safe all the time. The fire sign energies ask the Aquarian energy to do that. because if they're outside for a while, if they are, what's another situation, if they are lingering by, like a gas station example, if they're lingering by a gas station or a restaurant for an unusually long time, the police or investigators are going to be, somebody's going to end up watching them and becoming really skeptical. And that could be why the Aries told them to stop. That's why the Aries told them to stop. So that could be the kind of movement that they have with you or an external Scorpio, and something there is strange. Something there is strange because you may not, the level of involvement you didn't know in Aquarian energies had inklings. You had inklings about their level of involvement with your own business partners. You or an external Scorpio had inklings about an Aquarian energy and their business partners. And you may all of those elements may know each other, or the Aries and the Sag, their involvement with an Aquarian energy is strange. Their involvement with an Aquarian energy period is strange. But those elements make money off of something's going on with taxes also. The taxes and IDs and duplicates and selling and images, selling images, selling IDs. And they make a lot of money doing that because they're lazy. So somebody may make a lot of money doing that, but it implies that they're lazy into making money that way. Someone's gone with laziness with those elements, you know? Someone may not want to work hard for their own, so they help Aries. It just depends on what's going on there. So the Ten of Pentacles and how much money I get stalking. The Ten of Pentacles is also stalking. Like these elements, somebody could be these elements. One of these elements here, these air signs, set up Aquarian. Somebody could set the Aquarian to stalk you, watch you. Because the reason for that is so you won't go to the police. The reason for that is because somebody's paranoid into you going to the police. Somebody's really paranoid and biting nails and looking crazy and twisted in the face because they don't want you to call the police there. But I'm not. So when I said that, there's an I'm not. Like you're not going to do that to someone. Like you may not end up doing that to someone there, but acting weird. So when I said that, they may be acting really weird around you. Like that Aries told them to stop. They're acting really weird around you. So the Aries is telling them to stop. This is a situation here where, like, them acting weird, they're not stopping something. Them acting weird, they're not stopping something. And the Aries element may have told them to stop doing whatever it is that they're doing that with your things. Like, it could be with your things, or you just know what they're doing, or you just know what they're doing. Like, it doesn't even have to. It could be in a business deal where you don't deal with them that much, but they have your stuff. A business deal where you don't deal with the Aquarian energy that much, but they just have your things. But you know how they're using gifts to Aries. You know how they're using your things. You know how they got to your things. And it's because of the Aries element need, or what the Aries element asked them to do, watch you. They asked them to, because you know that they're watching you, told them to stop. And the Aries element told them to stop. But I'm not going to call the police. But someone else, like Geminis or whatever, somebody else external, you yourself may not have the guts to call the police, or they may laughing about. They may be laughing about the fact that they may be laughing about the fact that you may not have the guts to do so. Gemini called. So when I said a Gemini energy called the police on them, or they hooked up a private that has the money to pay for. A Gemini energy has the money to pay for a private investigator to watch get Aries arrested, or just have them occupied with something. Get Aquarian energy stalk. I keep getting stalked. So they could be stalking something, or someone the Gemini energy hooked up is stalking them. They don't know. When I said that, the Aquarian energy doesn't know. The Aquarian energy doesn't know that it's happening to them, but their own housemates. So when I said it has something to do with their own housemates, do that kind of they move. Their own housemates move that way with them. Their own business partners and their own coworkers stalk them. Their own business partners and coworkers stalk them. And that something there could be what's shown up on, but it's pertaining to you. Something there could be what's shown up on the news, but it's also pertaining to you. Or an external Scorpio, or someone else that is in this business deal that is going on here, like Aries and Sag elements. But someone here more so. Someone here like the Aquarian, and they're more so what do you call it? They're more so because of the fire sign energies constant need with them all the time. They're more so on the surface, and the fire sign energies are behind the scenes, so that what they do won't be put on blast. So it's kind of like using the Aquarian energy like bait. But that's how Aries sees them. Using the Aquarian energy like bait, that's how the Aries sees them. because they listen to the Aries all the time, like a child, like a child that wants what do you call it, like a child and their mother, like that suckling on, like that kind of behavior there, and that could be why Aries use them so easily. That's why Aries use them, Sag use them so easily. But at the same time, a Gemini energy hooked up someone to watch them and stalk them, But wait till they leave the house. So when I said that, it has something to do with wait till they leave the house. That's somebody's voice here. Wait till they leave the house. Wait till someone leaves the house. That could be when cops are gonna roll up somewhere on someone. You know what I mean? But they're gonna eventually have to leave the house. When I said they're going to somebody, there could literally be there, some type of situation. There could literally be cops ending up outside of somewhere, and somebody has no choice but to step outside. Someone may not have a choice but to step outside. When the cops show up outside and they have those big microphone things, and that could literally be because of Aries. That could literally be the scene that's happening because of Aries or their involvement with Aries. But Gemini hooked up. Gemini hooked up. Wow. If it's not anything like that, the Page of Swords and the Six of Swords need a job. The Page of Swords, Six of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, you need a job. But someone that's stealing can help. Page of Swords, Six of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. So you need a job, but someone that's stealing from you can help. I know it sounds weird to say. Someone that is stealing, it doesn't even have to be from you. Someone that you're tied to that steals can help you. It just depends. And it could be Aries, Sag, Aquarian energies there. Gemini protect you. Gemini protect you. Six of Swords energy, Page of Swords. You could be looking for the Gemini to work with them, but not sure how you're going to work. You're looking for the Gemini to work with them. You're not sure how they're going to work with you. You're not sure if they want to or how they're going to work with you. But Aries doesn't want to see that. Aries doesn't want to see that collab for some reason. But it is potential if the Aquarian leads. It is potential if the Aquarian leads. Whatever situation here in a workplace, in a store, in whatever setting, a business deal, if the Aquarian leaves, but they're attached to Aries really heavily. They're attached to Aries really heavily, and you're worried that they won't leave. It could be a situation here where Gemini energy could end up bribing them to leave. Somebody could be trying to figure out ways to bribe them to leave. I was also getting Taurus from earlier on in the reading. If you listen to Taurus reading, they were trying to do that kind of stuff with ads, and it didn't work. It's not working, or that could be something that a Taurus keeps trying to do on the Aquarian energy. It just depends on what's going on, or that could be a conversation that a Taurus needs to have, but they also don't like them either. A Taurus may need to have that conversation with a Gemini, but a Taurus also doesn't like the Gemini energy either. But they may help each other at the same, get Aries out the way. They may help each other get Aries elements out of the way for you. Or get Aries out to distract Aquarian. Get Aries elements out of the way for you. Get Aries elements out of the way to distract the Aquarian. The Aquarian energy is blood tied to the Aries element for some reason. The future has the Knight of Cups energy is in the future. Okay, Knight of Cups energy, and the instincts has the Ten of Swords. What you know, the Ten of Swords energy is what you know. It's what you know about these air signs, and Libra distant. So what you know about the air signs, a Libra is distant, like a Libra, or you distance yourself. You may have on purpose you distance yourself from a Libra for some reason, but they're going to call you. So when I said they are going to call you, or are you going to call them? But I get an invitation. The air sign, a Libra may end up calling you because of an invitation. They may end up calling you because of invitation there. Just depends. I'm not sure if I want to go. A Libra inviting you is the Aquarian energy going to be there? Is the Aquarian energy going to be there? Like, are they going to be there? That could be a question that you have for the Libra, but they don't understand why you're asking that question. And I was also getting jobs. You know what I mean? A Libra could be work with them. A Libra could be inviting you to work with them. That's why, but it's a Ten of Swords, Aquarian involved. The Ten of Swords is in the instincts, because the Aquarian energy is hiring process also. The Aquarian energy is involved with your hiring process or your dealings and business ties that you have to Libras. They don't want to see that. Business ties to Libras, they don't want to see that. Business ties to Gemini and Taurus, Aries doesn't want to see that. Business ties to Gemini and Taurus, Aries doesn't want to see that. Or the Aquarian energy may not care about that, but they don't know how close I am with them. The Aquarian energy may not care about the tie you have to a Taurus and a Gemini, but at the same time, they don't know how close you are to them. They don't know how close you are to those elements. You know what I mean? and jobs and intervening Aquarians, and somebody wants them out the way. Somebody just wants them to leave, and they're stalking you and bothering you, and information and giving information to Aries, and copies of IDs. They do that often. Copies of IDs and things of that nature. They do that often. But how am I going to work here? So when I said that, how am I going to work here? How am I going to work here? Hold on one second. I need light. How am I going to work here if some of this? How am I going to work here where people are stealing and things of that nature? How am I going to work here? But it won't be that bad. So when I said it won't be that bad. But keep Aquarian astray. So if you end up going in for like a job and keep the Aquarian energy astray, that could be something that the Aries is doing subconsciously. But Gemini does heavily. The Aries does it subconsciously. The Gemini energy does it heavily. They heavily do that with mysticism, or literally they hooked up someone to watch that element all the time. But has documents. So I said the Gemini energy hooked up someone to watch that element all the time. That it has something to do with them having your documents. It has something to do with them having your partner's documents. It has something to do with them having your partner's documents. The Aries and Sag could be your partner, your business partner, your love partner. They have the Aquarian energy has their copies of. They have the copies of your partner's documents. The Aquarian energy could be doing this. The Aquarian energy could be doing this for you with the Gemini and the Taurus. They could be doing this for you, and it could be the investigators and the police. It could be on the Aries and the Sag element. But they're going to want to see documents. So somebody's going to want the police. Somebody's going to want to see documentation. Somebody's going to want to see documents, copies, IDs, pictures. Aquarian has. When I said the Aquarian energy has that. So either they're on your side or they're not on your side. For whatever Scorpio element I'm reading for, they're on your side or they're not on your side. Getting paid by Aries and documents and IDs that keep business running and selling images. I keep getting that feeling of selling images and IDs and pictures and craziness, and all that they could have got, that's yours. All that they gathered, that is yours. All that they gathered is yours. But Gemini has some also. The Gemini energy has some also. For whatever reason, that need to take to police. The Gemini energy has some also. They need to take it to police, an investigator, a lawyer, whatever Gemini needs. A Gemini needs a lawyer, or a Gemini could have found a lawyer. That doubles. A Gemini energy found a lawyer that they have double. They have doubles. Like, what do you call that? They double. Like, they have more than one. They have profession. They have more than one profession, and it could be a lawyer that's also. It could be a lawyer that does private investigator work. Aquarian doesn't see. Aquarian energy doesn't see or know that. And they may know the Gemini or interact with the Gemini often. The Gemini obviously is not going to tell them that they have that kind of connection because it's on them. The Gemini is not going to tell the Aquarian about that connection because it's on the Aquarian. They may be trying to pry. The Aquarian energy may be trying to pry that out of the Gemini, and the Taurus or just the Gemini. Wow. The accomplishment has the Two of Pentacles right next to the Page of Swords energy there. Okay, Scorpio. So the Two of Pentacles is right next to, but that's why I'm doing something. The Two of Pentacles and is next to the research with the jobs and working with Gemini. You're going to end up working with the Gemini. You may already work with them, but found out something else. You may already work with them, but you're finding out something else about them, or you're finding out something else. Or they took it upon themselves to find out something about Aries. They took it upon themselves to find out something about an Aries element. But should I pay their lawyer or should I pay their investigator that they found that you didn't even know was there? Should I tell how you're trying to have a conversation with a Gemini? You're asking a Gemini to pay a lawyer. You're asking a Gemini, I'm trying to find ways to pay your lawyer. I have it. So the Gemini energy is like, it's okay. I have it. I'll take care of the pay for them. I'll take care of the pay for the investigators and the police and whatever. I'll take the lawyers. I'll take care of the pay for them. Don't worry about the pay. The voice of Gemini. That's the voice of the Gemini. That's the voice of the Gemini energy. Wow. So the Two of Pentacles energy right next to the Page of Swords You're scraping into your money. I'm not working yet. You're working yet, or you didn't go transition into another job yet, whatever position yet, whatever it is I'm not, I'm not working yet. Scraping, pay Gemini lawyer, pay the person that the Gemini energy hooked up. They're trying to tell you it's okay, I got it. On Aquarian, what's happening there is on the Aquarian energy, or it's on the Aries and the Sag element, or just the Aries element, or just Sag, whichever. Gemini helping, they're helping you. They're behind the scenes helping you, but knows the Aquarian that you're dealing with. So they're behind the scenes helping you. They know the Aquarian energy that you're dealing with, and they're tied to the Aries element. They may secretively help you. The Aquarian energy may secretively help you, but more so the Aries and the Sag element that they help to your things. More so they do that to help those elements to your things, but they're helping you also. Or something about that they may deem to be a sign of protection, but Gemini energy doesn't deem that to be a sign of protection. They really don't. That's why that's why they hooked up lawyers and investigators, or something's going on with a single lawyer that they double. They have somebody has two professions here. Somebody has two professions. You know what this feels like? It's really interesting. What's coming to mind? Like, I was getting diagnoses and doctors, and that could be something that you are doing. That could be something that you are doing, but something's going on with like a doctor. Like this could be like, I'll just give an example. This could be just an example of how somebody can have two professions. Like somebody, or it could just one could be, one of the professions could be one that they have certifications, and one that they have the degrees for, one that they actually have the course work for, and one of them they could just be doing on their own. The other, they could just be doing it on their own by a doctor. So it could be a doctor that you have that's doing that. Like a doctor that you have private investigation. A doctor that you have is set up a private investigation on your business partners. But Aquarian doesn't know. When I said it, an Aquarian energy doesn't know that. An Aquarian energy doesn't know. And a doctor saw somebody do something. A doctor saw your business partner know your coworkers, and the doctor that you have, a nurse, they took it upon themselves to do private investigations and things of that nature. Into your health, or into your health, or your health business. Your health is also tied into something that's happening with you in business. Or it's a doctor or a nurse hooked up someone. A doctor or a nurse that you have, they hooked up someone, or they know someone that knows your business partner. I get Aries. They know, knowing someone that knows your business partner. A doctor that you have knows the Aries that you're tied to. A doctor that you have knows the Aries element that you're tied to. Or Sag, or an Aquarian energy that you're tied to, but live near them. When I said Aquarian energy that you're tied to, the doctor that you have, or nurse, or whatever, or it could be like in a school, like a classmate or a professor they know those, they're interconnected to those elements. Set up someone to watch the Aquarian energy there. All those elements protect you. They protect you, and they set up someone to watch the element all the time, but still helping Aries. So when I ran through all that, they're still helping the area. You're thinking that they may not stalk. You're thinking that they may not even care that someone's stalking them. But I didn't even know a doctor did that. I didn't even know it cares about you. A doctor may really care about you. A nurse, a professor, whatever. What's another example of somebody random they're just taking it upon themselves? This is like you. I'll give you another example. This is like what's another interesting situation? I'm trying to think of an example. I like the doctor example. I keep thinking they hooked up somebody. I like the doctor example. They really hooked up someone. Like you go into a doctor that's completely separate from your. You go into a doctor. You go to the doctor, and everybody goes to the doctor, but it's like they're intervening. They're intervening, but it's for a good reason. Like they're intervening, but it saved your information. So them intervening is for a good reason, but they saved your information onto something, but trying to help you. So when that's their way of trying to help you. But because you're going to the doctor's office, they're saving your information and contacting partner. They're saving your information, and they're contacting your lover. They're contacting your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your business partner but how they have that kind of connection. So how are they able to do that? Disguise. Somebody in your doctor's office could have disguised themselves to confront. They could have disguised themselves to confront someone, but they don't know what they look like, or they never seen what they look like. Somebody in your doctor's office, and the doctor, they could have went up to your partner's job, drove by, went up to your partner's job. They drove by your partner's job, and the pictures and the images could be the pictures and the images could have been taken by somebody that works in your doctor's office, or someone in your doctor's office hooked up someone to do that, paid someone to do that, to your partner, to your business partner. So your job, people in your job are really tied to your doctor's office visits and things of that nature. But someone in there in one of those situations is trying to help you, because someone in either one of those environments there, those two environments there, however many of those environments, they know each other. And they know about stealing and copies and duplicates and IDs, Aquarian. That element is doing that. With Aries and Sag element there. But scared. So when I said that something is scary, that somebody knows that you know that, or the Aquarian energy, or the Gemini, but their motive, those elements, their motives, good motive, bad motive, that somebody is doing something like that. Wow. Doctor's offices, and you're finding out something, and you want to pay, and they're like, don't worry about it, it's okay. But they're really deep behind the scenes trying to get partner arrested. They're deep behind the scenes trying to get your partner arrested, or your partner's business partner arrested, because they did something really sketchy there. They did something really sketchy. It's sketchy. It's something that's really deep and sketchy there, But a lot of people involved. So something really deep and sketchy there. A lot of people are involved with something here. Like a lot. Like there's a lot of people. Why? Why are there so Ten of Swords? Why are there so many people involved? Why are there so many people involved? Your spiritual self as the King of Pentacles. I did say Taurus, I did say Taurus, male. It could be whatever external air sign element that's a dude. It could be a Taurus guy. It could be Virgo or Capricorn energies that are guys. They're helpful. I was getting, but they're female also. The King of Pentacles energy is also shown up as a female. I was getting Taurus, male, help Gemini. Taurus, male and female, help Gemini. They help Gemini, They help Gemini doctor's office. They help Gemini in your personal situations. They help a Gemini to your personal situations. But they ask. The Gemini energy may have found housemate. The Gemini energy found your housemate. They found your coworker. If they don't work with you, they found your friend and had to pull your friend aside, housemate aside, and had to come. What is Aries doing? They pulled that aside, and like, what is that Aries? What is the Aries element doing with Aquarian, or by themselves, or with a Sag? And that could be when they formulated a plan. That could be when those two elements formulated a plan. When those elements formulated a plan there, for good or for bad, they formulated a plan. Two of Pentacles right next to the page. Is it going to show up on the news? Two of Pentacles, something that they're doing outward. It's really out there. Something that they're doing is really out there, and something could be potentially shown up on the news, but just a news article, like just an article. It may not be like TV. It could just be like an article that somebody. It could just be an article about something that's happening. But something maybe interesting about something that's happening to you personally is something mainstream, something that's going from really personal, something that is really personal is going into mainstream. It's making mainstream attention here for some reason, and it could just mainstream attention. It could end up in an article. Mainstream attention. It could end up on the news. However you want to look at mainstream news media attention. But if they don't do something, so mainstream media attention, if they don't do something, something won't end up that far. If they don't do something, whatever it is that is happening here, if they don't do something, if they don't. By IDs, it has something heavily to do with IDs and pictures and your IDs and copies and craziness that Aries need. The Aries causing Aquarian to go crazy. The Aries need is causing the Aquarian energy to go crazy to the point where them just going crazy by themselves could show up in a news article on the news. And you're like, I didn't even have anything to do with that. You're like, what the hell? What's wrong with them? Why are they showing up on there? You don't know. You may not even know that it has something to do with you. but they were acting out. So when I said that they may have ended up really acting out, it's your business partner's fault that that element is acting out. But it could be a situation that you do know, another situation where you may not even know that it's really tied into something that you have going on, and how they're acting out can end up in a news article or in the news, and it's something there you may have been really separate from, but something there you may have been really separate from, but because of its potential mainstream, but because of the potential that ended up in mainstream media, that is where it could end up getting your attention. But Taurus loves. So when I say that the Taurus loves you, like the Taurus may love you, Taurus male, Taurus female, something's going on with them. Like, I don't know if it's like, if it's a Taurus female, really those elements, it could be if you're a female, it could be bisexual things that a Taurus female has going on with you, or with an external. This could be happening to an external Scorpio, or it's you, or Taurus male love you. They love you. That they really like. They love you. I keep getting some of it's mainstream. So it's something that's going on with media, and them. Something is heavy with the way they love you. It's the way they love you could end up on, for some reason it could end. Okay, for some reason the way they love you could end up on social media. It could end up in mainstream media. It's the way they do. It's the way they're doing something. Like the way they don't care about Aries. They don't care about Aries, but it's the way they're doing something for you with Gemini. It's the way they're doing something for you with a Gemini that is potentially on the news, in a news article, on social media, But something is embarrassed also. So when I said that, something could be embarrassing. Like something could Aquarius. The Aquarian energy could end up really embarrassed. Is the King of Pentacles energy embarrassed? Only one of them. Only one of them may end up really embarrassed. Could it Taurus? Something could be something is slightly embarrassing or majorly embarrassing about what's happening here. Something is major. It's something that could be going on. They're just a helper. Something could be going on with them, but they're just a helper. Like you consider them to just be a helper. They're just a helper of some kind. They're a helper. You know, they're a helper. Six of Swords right next to them, but it's they're I keep feeling mainstream media. Their helping is potentially ended up on in mainstream media there, okay? Or the way they love you, or the Aquarians and what they found out about them, the Aquarians and what they found out about Aquarians and Aries and Sag elements, but they dislike them. They dislike them. This is like I said, you going into the doctor's office. You have your job, your regular job, but separate from your job, you're taking a trip to the doctor, and somebody in your doctor's office, like your doctor or a nurse, someone they know your coworker, or they know your coworker stealing. So they're doing something really majorly here for you. Like it's major that you see, you don't see behind the scenes. The Gemini hired lawyer. Every time I say Gemini, they hired lawyer. They hired private investigator. Or a lawyer has that kind of. A lawyer doubles that way. A doctor has that kind of double. A doctor is disguised as. It could be a private investigator disguised as a damn doctor. It just depends on what's going on. Or that could be the other that they gave themselves. That's just another job they gave themselves for you. But it's interesting. So when I said that tennis swords and the instincts, it's interesting. Like it's interesting that somebody's doing that. The mentality has the Eight of Pentacles energy here. Pharmacy, taking a visit to a pharmacy, interconnected to your job, pharmacy, doctor's offices. What's another environment? What do you call it? Gym. I don't know. Planet Fitness or something. You go into the gym and somebody that works in the gym. Somebody that works in the gym knows your business partners and things of that nature. They hooked up someone because they're aware of something. But it's really deep. It's really deep that somebody did that, and it's deep that somebody cares. Like I said, it shows that someone cares, and they went really far to do that kind of thing for you. They went really far to do that. But it's also interesting. I didn't see. It's interesting because you didn't see. The inklings and things you had, but you may not have acted out on that intuition. You may not have acted out on intuition. It's easy to just have intuition, but it doesn't mean that you have to act out on it or voice it all the time. You know. This depends on the situation. The Eight of Pentacles and the mentality is here with the Ten of Swords, but deception. So the air sign, one of them, the air sign elements could be somewhat deceptive. I did say the Libra was distant, but not on purpose. The Libra isn't distant on purpose. You could have distanced yourself from them, but they're behind with Gemini. They're behind the scenes helping with a Gemini. It's the Aquarian energy that may with Aries. It's the Aquarian that's deceptive with the Aries in Sag. Those elements are deceptive there. Why they do that? Eight of Pentacles, you're trying to understand why they did something. Why they do that, So either that's a question. Either that's a question for your doctor's office, someone in your doctor's office, or your gym, or your yoga class, or that is connected to your job, whatever, and whatever the environment is, in your regular job. That's a question for either one of those environments there. Why they do that? The why someone could be helping you majorly, and you're still asking why. Somebody could be helping you in a major way, but you're still asking why. You could still be asking why, because it could the still asking why potential embarrassment. the still asking why, it could have something to do with potential embarrassment on you, or one of these elements here. Or that could be a feeling that don't have remorse. That could be a remorseful feeling that you have for someone else. And that is also where it's a plus for you, but it's a Aquarian. It's a minus for the Aquarian energy. Like, it's a plus for you, but it's a minus for them. And the remorse could be for them. The remorse could be for them. The remorse, child regression. The remorse could be a situation where you may know that somebody has a childhood regression kind of movement that they have going on here with them. They could have shared something like that with you, and that could be where you feel bad. It just depends, or like abuse. I can feel like Aquarius, whatever air sign, they have that kind of, somebody has that kind of background there, and that could be where you feel bad, like somebody hurting you, somebody hurting you. You have sympathy. Somebody hurting you or doing something deceptive to you. You have sympathy because because you have this thought process where they're only doing something bad because child regression. They're only doing something bad because they're suffering from something. They suffer from something there, like child regression and depression and things that nature, that they have that kind of stuff going on. And that could be the conclusion that you gave yourself into why somebody does bad things. It just depends on what's going on there. Somebody got depression or child regression and neglect in childhood. Somebody may have been really neglected in childhood. But that's why they help Aries. That's why they help an Aries element, because the Aries may be like a mother or father to someone that they didn't have, or a bond that they didn't have with someone, a bond someone didn't have in childhood. They're through stealing. They're gaining it. A bond someone didn't have with their mother or father in childhood, they're gaining it through. They're gaining it, and somehow they're gaining it in an unscrupulous business deal. they're gaining it with a business partner that steals. How somebody has that? How somebody's able to get that kind of bond? You may not understand, but whatever floats somebody's boat there. Eight of Pentacles with the Ten of Swords. Well, I mean, that's why I said from earlier on in the reading, you may not be calling the police, but someone can't stand the fact that you're not doing that. Somebody's aggravated into the fact that you're not. Somebody's bent out of shape about you not doing that. Or if it's not police that bent out of shape confrontation, just bent out of shape because you're not confronting someone. You're not confronting them. So they're hooking up people, or they themselves are doing that for you. Wow. What's changing is the Ten of Wands energy there. The Ten of Wands energy, it's not difficult. So the Ten of Wands energy is that a burden is changing. Something isn't difficult anymore. But facing them it's fire sign energy. Nothing is difficult with them anymore because you're deciding to face them. You're deciding to fake them, but they did it first. The Taurus elements, the Gemini's, whatever, Libra possibly as well. They had to do it first in order for you. They had to lay down the bread. They had to lay down the breadcrumbs first in order for you to jump in. They're waiting for you to jump in. Double Dutch. They're waiting for you to jump in now. They're already in between the ropes. They're waiting for you. It's your turn. It's your turn. Wow. Ten of Wands energy. I guess I'm about divorcing as well. So you could end up divorcing somebody for business, love, because of the air sign elements involvement. Taurus involvement. Gemini, Aquarian, Taurus, whatever. Whoever involvement here. You know? To end up divorcing one of those elements there for business or love, you're divorcing someone. But thinking about it. So when I said that you're thinking about it, have you been thinking about it? But they want to be with. I know the King of Pentacles energy, they want to be with you. They want to be with you. You know? The air sign elements external had that thought. The air sign elements external had that kind of thought. But they may have had that kind of thought there. Or they do or they don't. It just depends. But they did something mystically. So the Taurus element may have done something mystically to get those elements to get. Okay, they may have done something mystically to get you looking at them, to get you to look at them. They did something. Did you do something mystically to get them to look at you? That's what a Sag thinks. You doing something mystically to get a Taurus to look at you. That's what a Sag thinks. Pay attention to you. Love you. Be with you. However you want to look at be with you. The Sag thinks you did some incantations, whatever. The Sag thinks you did something with them there, or they did something to get them out the way. The Taurus did something mystically to get the fire sign energies out of the way, or the air sign element external did. The air sign elements external did. The Gemini could have done that, but they hooked up someone. Every time I say Gemini, they just hooked up somebody that watches, that lies to you, that watches someone that lies to you. And that's been happening to Aquarius. That's just been happening for a while to the Aquarian or the Aries and Sag elements. Ten of Wands in the changing position. I don't have to deal with. Ten of Wands, I don't have to deal with the fire sign energies anymore. I don't have to deal with them anymore because of the Taurus, the Gemini, But still see Aquarian. So you still see the Aquarian energy. You still see them. You still see that element. But you may not talk to them. Right? The resolution has the world, sign of Capricorn, going towards the Knight of Cups energy. So the world element does represent a completed cycle. Does represent fire signs. It represents a completed cycle with the fire sign energies. The Knight of Cups in the future is your energy and that of other water sign elements, like I said, like I was saying, an external Scorpio, and can also be Cancer and what do you call it, Pisces, and coming in to help those external water sign energies are coming in to help you, but how to get divorced. So they're coming in to help you figure out a way to get a divorce there. Get a divorce, leave, move, divorce job, divorce business deal, divorce like matrimonial, get divorced there in whatever situation, however you want to use the word divorce. However you want to use the word divorce, a business deal, a workplace, marriage, whatever. The Eight of Pentacles, but trying to deal with Aquarian. Eight of Pentacles, you're trying to deal with this person for some reason. Like you're trying to deal with them. However you want to deal with them. However you want to look at deal with them. Like the whole idea of dealing with them is like is what they're doing, what they're doing, or what they did. Aries element, Sag element, what they've been doing for a while. Just dealing is stressful. Just dealing with knowing that is stressful to you. That's why I said these elements tired of you. These elements tired of you not calling the police. These I hooking up a camera also. Somebody could be tired of you not hooking up a camera. But someone may be thinking that you should hook up a camera somewhere. Or that could be something that somebody thinks that you did. That could be something that somebody thinks you did, or you did do. Or you need to do. They think so. Taurus thinks so. Gemini thinks so. You are going to. You did. You didn't do yet. You're going to. It just depends about how to pay for that. But someone may have already put up one for you. Because you're not making these moves, someone already put up one for you somewhere. Someone could already put up one on your front door, on your front step, in your closet. Somebody could have already put up that in somewhere for you. You wanted it there. You asked for it. You didn't ask for that there. You asked for it, or you didn't ask for it there. You know that could be that Aries keeps an eye on. That could also be how Aries keeps an eye on you with the Aquarian, with the air sign. That could be how the Sag keeps eye. That could also that's how those fire sign energies keep eyes on you. Why do they need to do that? Ten of Wands. Why do they need to do that? Why do they need to do that? Mm, wow. Why do they need to do that? But where is it? So when I said where is the camera? That could be the voice of the Aquarian. That could be the voice of the Taurus. That's the voice of the Gemini. But they install voice of Gemini. They installed. They installed somewhere, whatever they installed. It's installed. You're like, where is it? You know, that's either your voice or one of those elements' voice. One of those elements' voice. The Aquarian's voice, Aries' voice. Sag, it's their. If you're doing it, it's their voice. If they're doing it, it's your voice. Where is it? Hey, camera. Where is it? You want to know where it is? All right. All right, Scorpio. Let's see what the outcome is here. Three of Swords energy is here. All right, so you got Ten of Swords, you got Three of Swords energy, you got Page of Swords, and Aquarian crying. The element may end up crying because of what the fire sign energies did. What what you said, what you did, what Gemini did, it's air sign element. What the air sign elements external from them did, but what they told police. So the Three of Swords is what those elements told police. Well, they told police. They could be doing that now. It just depends on what the 10 is October. The last time you saw a fire sign. The 10 could be October. The last time you saw a fire sign. The last time you saw them, October. October, or however you want to use 10. 10 a.m. 10 p.m. 10 meaning October. October 10th. What's another? November 10th. However you want to look at the last time you saw. However you want to use the word, however you want to use the number 10. Three of Swords and the outcome. Last time you saw them there. Three of Swords energy, the air sign elements and the police and somebody called and somebody called it. That could be where they've been watched during that time, but something could be happening after that time. Like 10 o'clock. The last time I saw them was 10 a.m. They didn't come back. The last time I saw them was 10 p.m. They didn't come back. The last time I saw them November 10th, they didn't return. It depends on what's going on. And that could be for the fire signs or that disappearing Aquarian. That could resonate with the fire signs or disappearing Aquarian energy. Or we got or Taurus, that could be they called. That could be a time they called a police or called someone. That could be a time those elements took it upon themselves to call somebody there, family for help, friends for help, police, investigators, doctors' offices, people in the doctor's office calling police and private investigators and hooking up their own lawyers to watch a situation. What the hell? Look, people. This is interesting. People are really deep. There's a lot of people involved here. I feel this heavy feeling of a lot of people being involved that you didn't even know were involved. It's just a lot of people. And you're like, where'd they come from? And why are they there? They're helping you. All the whys ask later. All the whys you can ask later. With whys you can ask later. So the action happen. It depends on what's going on here. It's interesting. Involvement. It's interesting, the idea of the involvement and what the moves and the cameras and the Shell gas stations and the doctor's offices and whatever, the IDs, the copies, the doctor. It's not going with split personalities. Also, somebody could have that kind of stuff going on. That could be why they're in a business deal like that. Somebody may have a split personality disorder. Someone's important. The spirit just screamed that somebody could have a split personality disorder. Could have what caused them to do something really interesting here. Hmm. Doctors and people in the doctor's office contacting your jobs and private investigators and cars pulling up and tailing somebody and things of that nature. Somebody doesn't drive. They're going outside, they're being stalked and watching, or someone was hooked up to do those kind of things. Mm. So it's really interesting. There's multiple things going on. It's really interesting what's happening. Okay. All right. Let me know how it resonates. Scorpio. Be well. Take care. Bye.